to getting those covers together.
And in terms of laying out the elements of a crime, what does the prosecution want from David Pecker?
Prosecution wants David Pecker to establish the formation of the conspiracy. It's that unholy trinity of Trump, Michael Cohen, and David Pecker. And they, to Vaughn's point about sort of unspoken, unknown details, according to the prosecutors today, it was Trump who invited David Pecker to come to this meeting at Trump Tower in 2015. They were joined by Michael Cohen there. When we've seen that meeting described in public filings, Nicole, it comes across really differently. They say there was a meeting between Cohen and Pecker and a third member of the Trump campaign. We know from our colleague Tom Winters reporting in 2018.
Do we have that? Do we have Tom Winters reporting from the... Okay, we went back and we found, it actually circulated on social media. Tom Winter is a pro's pro, and actually probably the kind of reporter that lives in both worlds, right? That does talk to those kind of sources that know where people move and how they move and with whom they move. Not that you aren't, you are as well. But let me show you Tom Winter. This is Tom Winter's live report on that day about that meeting and who was in it.
The first discussion of this so-called catch and kill comes up in August 2015. And so the Wall Street Journal reported back in November, and NBC News has now confirmed that, in fact, the other campaign official in the room is the guy at the head of the campaign himself, Donald Trump.
So that was established through NBC's reporting and others back in 2018. Just explain why that's important and why the characterization. I mean, the Trump telling people that know Trump know that he's such a maniac for the details. He cast a cabinet. He didn't like John Bolton's mustache. He doesn't like the walk-up music. But they have this alternate myth that he somehow floats around and doesn't know who's in his office tower. This was his meeting.
Yes, it was his meeting, and he's micromanagerial to a core, as you just noted. And the legal import of that is to show that Donald Trump had knowledge and intent to influence the 2016 election all along through the cooperation of the National Enquirer, to bury stories about him, to accentuate his positives, and then to write damaging stories about his rivals like Ted Cruz and Ben Carson. And, you played this portion of Todd Blanche's opening when he said, I have a spoiler alert. It's not a crime to influence elections. It's called democracy. Well, that's like saying, I have a spoiler alert. It's not a crime to lie. It's called the First Amendment. Except that there are instances in which lying is a crime, and there are also instances in which non-disclosure agreements can be criminal, where they are entered into for the purpose of unlawful in-kind or corporate campaign contributions or individual contributions. That is why Michael Cohen went to jail, not because NDAs are criminal, but because of the purpose to which those NDAs were put.
Harry, what struck me is that I know a lot's been said. I know Trump has access to excellent lawyers and by all accounts has a couple.